Hello, welcome to another editor tutorial. This tutorial will be focusing on backgrounds and how you can manipulate them. So, first let's point out where the background even is. It's in the layer tab. You see this layer right here? It always comes in when you make a level. You will always have this specific layer called background, and you can see right here that it has this toggle where it is a background. And if I were to untoggle that and change it, you would see that the background has now disappeared. But if I bring it back, boom. Now originally, your background layer is frozen, but at the beginning of this tutorial, I had it not frozen. Usually, this is toggled, and you would not see any of the objects in your background layer. But I have it unfrozen, and having it unfrozen means that you can actually interact with the layer. So let me just select the layer so I can interact with it and spawn things inside of it if I want to. So, how do things actually appear in the background? Like, how do you know where to place things? Well, you have to place everything around this center point right here, the very center of your level, 0, 0, 0, that specific position. If you don't place things around that, then it will not appear in your background, because the background, what it does is just imagine a 360-degree camera in the center of your level at the 0, 0, 0, and it just takes a screenshot, or actually it doesn't really take a screenshot, it records it records your background, and anything that's in the background layer will be in that recording, and it will be constantly displayed as your skybox in your own level. So if I were to move this around, you could see that it appears in different positions of your 360-degree camera, so I can move this anywhere I want. If I move it a little bit too far, it will stop being in the background, which you would not want to do that. But alright, I'm gonna put it back to the center to where it was before. And if you want to like place more things in your background, you can do that. I'm gonna duplicate this ultra planet, move it up here, and now it should appear above. We're going to give it some different color values. Put that right there. Yep. Put this here. I'm doing this real quick. Actually, that's a better color. No, that's a better color. Yeah. Real fast. Real quick. Alright. So now there should be a red planet up there. Well, red, pink, magenta, yeah. There should be a planet that looks just like that. And it should be there at all times if I were to play the level right now, but I won't go in just yet, because I want to point out that you can make multiple different layers in the layer tab, well, multiple background layers, because as long as you have this toggled, it would be recognized as a background layer and not a normal kind of layer. So if I make a new layer and I can change it to background and go over to level settings, you can change which background it's focusing on. So it's on layer 0, and layer 0 has nothing inside of it. So there's nothing being displayed besides the default settings that you already had in level settings. We're gonna move it back to layer 0, not back to layer 0, back to background. I'm gonna get rid of layer 0. Alright, so that's how you can make multiple backgrounds. Why would you even want to make multiple backgrounds? Well, that's because the biodome, which, let me select the default layer before I even spawn it. So, biodomes can create different skyboxes for different sections of your level. Within this object, or within the range of this object, a completely different skybox can exist, and you could make it so the skybox, the biodome's background that it uses, you could make a completely different background, and I won't go into all of the options that are inside of a biodome, but basically just showcasing that this is something that you can do with backgrounds that you might want to do at some point in your level. I won't really be doing this in this level. I just wanted to showcase that you can. And just a couple more things to know about. So let me pull this out. So there's this value here called background scroll. This is basically, actually let me visualize it. Let me make it so you can visualize it. Let's put 100. So the background scroll is basically, it's gonna scroll the background based on where the player is in a level, or like where they're moving. And if you set it to certain values, the background will appear like it's moving. So you might want to do this if you have a particularly large background that you want to make it look different depending on where you are. But if I were to travel downward, that planet will start to appear closer the further I go down, and if I were to travel upward, the planet above me will start to appear closer as I travel up. And depending on whatever value you choose, it will scroll differently. If you choose the value 1000, that value will appear as if like it's actually there. Like it's the equivalent of having this road be here. It will appear just like a normal layer, even though it's part of the background. Like you can see this planet, it looks like it's a part of the level, but it's not a part of the level. I can move right through it. So if you set your background scroll number to 1000, you will just have objects scrolling as if they're just a part of the level normally. This is actually a good thing for performance if you ever have some really big object that you just want to have in a level, but you don't want it to just lag your level just by existing. You could put it in the background wow. Put it in the background layer and set your scroll to 1000, and it will appear like it's a part of the level without costing as much frames. Although, just a note, if you want to do something like that, be careful about other things that you want to exist in the background layer. Just in case you want something to just always exist in the background, but you also want that one thing to scroll perfectly. It can get a little complicated depending how you set up your level. I won't really get into the details on how you can make it perfect, but just wanted to point out those are things that you can do with background scroll. I'm going to set it to 0 though, because with 0, it makes everything static. Everything that is placed around 0 is static. It's not going to move. It's always going to exist in your background, no matter where the player is. And yeah, that's really about it. That goes over how backgrounds even work, and how you can utilize them within your level. So go and do that. You know how to do it now, so go and do it. I'm gonna die now. That's the tutorial. Have a good day.